let's have a look. So I want to see what's underneath that Nine of Cups, which is what I do it in my personals. I haven't really done. Queen of Cups. All right, nice. This is something that you really want. Let's just start off there. So Nine of Cups, the wish card, your heart's desire, right? And I'm looking straight at the Ace of Cups that's coming up as the past, last week, last month, last year. It's something that you've wanted for a while. It's something that you've seen. You might have even been working on this, emotionally invested in this for a while. But this is just the beginning. This is the potential. The aces are the potential for that cycle. When we get to the 9, it's coming in, right? It's coming home. Whatever it is that we want. And that's why this is the heart's desire. Now, I always say this. The 9 of Cups, if you have a look, there's one guy with 9 cups. But this is not the end of that cycle. The outcome of the cycle is the 10 of Cups, which is when we share it with other people, right? So this is when this is our wish, what we want. The 10 of Cups for me is what we need when we get what we need. But great energy to start off with anyway. So coming up with the Queen of Cups here, yeah, fully emotionally invested in this. At a heart level, at an emotional level, as something that you love, you're in. Every way that you can be in. So we've got the Ace of Cups, the 9 of Cups, the Queen of Cups. Yeah, you're in, Leo. You're in this. And I think you've been in this for a while with that Ace of Cups coming up. Now, what can that literally translate as? Let's have a look at the energy. This could be someone that you met and you thought, oh my God, there's a stirring here. Because with the Ace of Cups, we're always looking at what is in our own cup. The aces are always ours. That's how it begins. Every great love story begins with how we feel, right? Or, if even the Ace of Cups doesn't have to just be romantic. It can be the job that we want. Anything that we're hot, the family that we want, the friendships, the whatever it is, the business, whatever we're invested in emotionally. Here we see it because we see the potential for it making us very happy. What's in our cup, right? And it's very important to know what's in your cup. And I think you've been figuring out how you feel about this, how you feel about whatever it is, whoever it is, the situation, for a while, like I said, because we've got the 9 of Cups in. You now know this is my true heart's desire. I'm fully invested in this emotionally. But where do we go from this? Well, I love it because we have a lot of pentacles coming up. And that is not just at an emotional level now. It's about what are we doing to build this? Some of you might be dealing with an earth sign. So we've got Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio here. That's water. Before people say, when did Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio become earth? No, the water is represented by the Queen of Cups. So we've got Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or the Knight of Pentacles represents Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But remember, the signs don't own the cards. They just lend their characteristics or their energies to it. Now, interesting here, the only major arcana card that we have coming up is the High Priestess in the future. Everything else is minor. What does that mean? It means this is very much about what direction you're taking this, especially with that Knight of Pentacles. Whenever knights show up, and that's what the focus is on. The focus is on, what next step can I take? There's very much a kind of energy of the sun coming up here. I know we don't see the sun, but energetically it feels that way, right? You see the potential of this is going to make me happy. And even with the sun, everything gets revealed to us. And with the Queen of Cups, you're very aware of how you feel about this. But the Knight of Pentacles is what step can I take next now? How can I make this, how can I manifest this into reality? Rather than this just being a wish, rather than this just being a desire, rather than me just seeing it as something that might make me happy, how do I go about making this happen, right? And the Knights always indicate progress and movement forward. Even the Knight of Pentacles, who, we always say this, that he is the slowest moving knight out of all of the knights. But it doesn't matter, he's still moving forward. And I kind of like the Knight of Pentacles in this. If you have a look, it's almost like they've been moving along and now the horse is it's the way his leg is kind of extended front. It's like, it's paused. Let's just stop a moment. Let's just see what's going on here. Now, the thing with the Knight of Pentacles, and all the cards have they have a higher and a lower vibration. What's the lower vibration of the Knight of Pentacles is that he takes too long. He's waiting for the perfect time. Because he's not, he doesn't have the experience of the kings and queens. The knights don't. It's something new for them. They're going on a new mission. They're trying to do something new. And it's perfectly fine and normal and all of that other stuff to hesitate, to not be sure, to stumble a little bit, to think, I don't know if I want to take this next step. Knight of Pentacles does that. But you're just going to slow yourself even more. The best thing to do is there's no perfect plan. There's no perfect time. You may as well act on this. You're not going to get more emotionally sure than where you are right now with all of this energy. And have a look. He's facing the Ace of Cups, so he knows it's almost like a combination of the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, right? Which is, and I always say that's a formidable combination, because the Knight of Cups is going to come up with the dream, and the Knight of Pentacles is going to come up with the path. That this is how we build it. This is how we do it. So baby steps if need be, but steps nonetheless. It's about taking practical steps now. Now, we have the Seven of Pentacles coming up in your present. I've seen a lot of sevens this time. That's always about reevaluation. What have you been putting your effort, your energy, your time into? It might be that some of you have already been acting on this, whatever your wish is, whatever your dream is. Because this is a card of patience. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean we just sit and wait for it to happen. I mean, think about the gardener. And I always say that if he's been growing that tree, he's not going to just, well, he is kind of standing there looking at it now, but I think he's looking at how can I best harvest what's coming off then? Is it what I want? But he had to water it. He had to go and prune it. He had to go and take care of it, make sure that it was growing. So you keep working on it. But the Seven of Pentacles does promise us that, sustained effort will bring you the results you hope for. But are you willing to keep putting in that kind of effort? So that's why it's very important to tap into this heart energy, because that's going to keep you going. Yes, this is my wish. Yes, this is my dream. Yes, I'm in this 100%. We might need to tweak some things when the Seven of Pentacles comes out. But I don't know. And that's interesting that I say that, because I'm getting an energy of, I don't know. I don't know. Have a look at how he's looking at this. I know how I feel about it, but I don't know how to get more. I don't know what to change up. I don't know. And is that why the Knight of Pentacles is there, kind of hesitating? Am I doing this right? It's that kind of energy. I don't know. There's a kind of a query about this kind of energy coming in. Because, you're trying to translate this or turn it from an emotional thing into a practical thing. Now, that could be a relationship. That could be, how do I turn what I love, a hobby or something that you love to do. Tarot, for example, with the High Priestess coming up. How do I turn it into something that is practically viable, something that gives me practical and physical security and stability, whether it be that person that you're in love with, whether it be that job, whatever, right? Where does this lead? Once you figure out if it's worth, have a look at it. That's what the Seven of Pentacles is saying. Have a look at what you're getting back from this. Is it still making you happy? I would say yes with this energy. Is it something that you still love? I would say yes with this kind of energy. But only you can decide that. And it serves you to just take that moment, have a look at it, and then keep going. It will reassure you on some level. And guess what comes in after that? The High Priestess. Whenever the High Priestess shows up in a reading, she is very clearly saying to you, you know how to do this. But you're going by a gut instinct. You're going by what you believe, your higher intuition. This is what she represents. Because the Knight of Pentacles, he's going to look and see where are the physical results. And you're doing that here. But at some point, it's like, okay, well, if you still want to do this, if your heart's fully in this, whether you're seeing the results or not, do you still want to keep going? That's where the answer comes in with the High Priestess. But the point is to pause and take a look at it, right? Is this still my wish? Is this still my dream? Now, what's the advice? I feel like you are solid, Leo. I feel like you are solid. You see it. You feel it at heart level. You even see a path forward and you kind of know, okay, you might not know 10 steps from now how to do it, but you know what the next step is based off of this energy. But then the advice is the Five of Wands. Now, this can be internal conflict, but I don't know. I'm not getting that. I'm seeing it with the Ace of Cups sat up here. You know how you feel about this. You know what's in your cup, right? I know I've said that a million times. Sorry, guys, but if it keeps coming up, I just keep saying it. So with the Five of Wands coming up here, I feel like this is more showing what you're made of. Showing what you're made of. Am I good enough? Because think about it. The card that comes after the Five of Wands, it's the Six of Wands, where you get recognized for what you've done. So am I good enough to step into the arena or the ring to go fight for this? If there might be people telling you, oh, Leo, you don't want to do this, or you don't want to you're not really getting anything back from it. You might love to write or make videos or whatever. And it's not really, you're not seeing the kind of success that you want, that you hope to see from it. And other people might just be their own limitations. These people are expressing their own limitations. But are you going to be true to other people's opinions? Are you going to be true to how you feel? Let's get you one for that Five of Wands. I haven't really been pulling clarifiers, but why is the Five of Wands the advice? The Three of Wands. It's about your expectations. I want to say this. One of my favorite things in the world, and you might call me sadistic for this, is when I see people trying to tell a Leo what to do. Yeah, that's one of the things that I think Leo and Aquarius have in common. Don't tell us what to do. Just don't. It's just never going to go down well. And, you know, fixed signs, right? We don't never do well with that. But you have the Five of Wands. So this is that conflict. This can be petty squabbles. It's not as dire as the Five of Swords, which is very selfish, kind of willing to do whatever it takes. This is more, if you have a look, it looks like they're sparring. They're practicing for something. This can be healthy competition. This could be, you know, am I up to the challenge? Am I up to doing this? Showing what you're made of, like I said. But if you're willing to do that, you get the Three of Wands. Your expectations will be met. Now, with the Three of Wands coming up here and the High Priestess, there is knowledge here. Trust what you know. Trust what you feel, Leo. It will work out the way you want it to. With the Three of Wands, and, you know, think about it. We've got the Five of Wands with it. This guy has his back turned, and I don't always focus on that aspect of the Three of Wands, but he has his back turned. So turn your back on the bullshit that people might be feeding you about because they're only telling you what they think they can do or can't do. They can't speak on what you can do. They can't speak on what you feel. So turn your back on that and wait for what you know will come in. And it's based off your own actions. You've put some effort into this. The Seven of Pentacles tells me that. He knows what to expect. He knows what to do next. He's already got a plan going. And whenever I see this kind of combination, I always see it like a chess move. I know what's going to happen next. You know, I know what it's like, calculate risk, what I'm willing to do with this, what the next plan of action is going to be. It's that kind of energy. Trust that. Trust that with all this coming in. Your expectations will be met. But if you're true to how you feel, if you keep moving forward, because the Knight of Pentacles is saying that to you. Right, Leo, thank you so much for watching your reading. I am going to be doing a live outro later on today, on the day that I'm posting this. So you'll either see the link for that live stream up, or I will attach the video to the end of this video once it's been recorded, once I've done it, right? And it's up on my channel. I just want to say I love you guys very much. I will see you next time, but that's all for now. Goodbye, my lovelies.